All right, welcome to selfie mode Sunday afternoon, evening. I got Winky on the floor trying to jump up in my lap. So here comes Winky. Everybody say hello, Winky, and happy Sunday. Here, look at the camera, Winky. Look, there's the camera over there. All right, so yesterday I finished the Marshall amp for Alan and got that thing up and running, and it is just unbelievably super loud. And today I just decided that I would take an easy, relaxing day and try to do some of my own stuff. And mostly because we were off for 10 days from work for Christmas and for New Year's. And I decided that getting up at 4 a.m. every day wasn't going to be the thing to do during the time off. So I didn't. And now I'm regretting it because I got to get up at 4 in the morning, and it makes for a really early morning and not getting used to that very quickly. So anyway, that's where I'm at. So I had to take a little bit of time this Sunday to relax a little bit. So I'm going to show you what I did my own stuff. There's sitting right over there is the 62 bassman cabinet and head cabinet. And I've been rebuilding this, and a while back I made a video explaining it, and it was kind of long and technical. Sorry about that. But I was explaining what I'm going to do to it, and now I've done most of it. I'm waiting on a few parts, but I've done most of it. So I'm going to, as least technically as I can and as least boring as I can, I'm going to go over what I did with this thing. So I'll be moving the camera around a little bit. So here we go. So right here is the area that I, first of all, let me flip. There we go. That's better. Now you don't have the camera all doing stupid stuff. So here's the power that I reinstalled. I installed a new grounded power cord. Took out that this capacitor was sitting over here, and with this switch, and I took all of that out because that's the stuff that I told you would electrocute you if it was done improperly. In 62, they didn't have a grounded power cord, so it's got one now. And the other stuff that I rebuilt, I will turn on the light so you can see it right there. Maybe not. Let me do this. Hey, look at that. There's light. So right down in there, if I can get it to where it's somewhat in focus, those 6 little diodes and that silver capacitor got replaced, and that light assembly got replaced. That was all corroded and crap, and as you can see, I've gone in here and I've rerouted all the wiring back to the way Fender intended, where it's all nice and straight and even. And the wires in a tube amp need to cross, if you can, they need to cross at right angles or at close to right angles. Anything that carries AC power and anything that carries signal, like these, because the crossing at 90 degrees will eliminate radio frequency interference, which is what that nice fun magnetizing thing does. And I replaced these 4 cathode follower capacitors, which this is the old ones, the old paper capacitors, and they are out of limits. I checked them. And yeah, they don't last. But these blue ones are pretty much indestructible, and they happen to be the key to some of the early Fender brown face era, which is what this is, tone. So that's part of that. And in there is all the potentiometers are back in place. You can kind of see the front of it a little bit. That's back in place, the brown face on the front. And inside this canister right here is where the filter caps are that I replaced, and I've got the canister back on, so I may take that off and show you in just a moment. So let me flip this thing, and we'll take a look at some filter caps. Just one second. All right, we're back in business here, so I'm gonna flip this thing around. So the filter caps, and there's Winky. Say hi, Winky. And here's the canister here. I've removed it, and I replaced the foam inside it because it was all deteriorated. But the original had 4 paper caps here, and then this amplifier somewhere along the line had been modified, and these 2 caps were not there anymore.
and there was a capacitor mounted in this hole, one of the big canister style capacitors, and that's not original. Someone had made this hole in here. That's not original to the 1962-66B circuit. So I put these two caps in and wired it all back exactly the way it was in 1962, so it'll sound correct. And over here, you can see where all of those, that's the diodes, everything that I've highlighted, I've replaced. And if you look on this side, you can see where I've taken out that stuff that will electrocute you. But all of these that are highlighted here, right here and over here, are all of this. So anyway, and these are F&T type caps, and they're really good. If I was going to build, which I have done, build handmade amplifiers, that's the kind of capacitors that I like to put in there, because they're military grade, they're solid. And for those of us that were in the military grade usually means the worst, cheapest thing that you can get. But in the electronics world, that means that it's got a pretty good quality control to it, pretty solid, pretty reliable stuff. So anyway, so that's where we're at. So I'm trying to be as least technical as I can with that. I'm waiting on a couple of switches that I'm going to replace the standby switch and the main power switch, just because they're 62 years old and I really don't trust them all that much. So I'm going to replace those, because those switches, you flip them every time you play, and I'd really like it to be a bit more reliable. So I'm going to take care of that. And in the cabinet that you see there, I have already removed the speakers. It had the original speakers that were made in Chicago, and they were pretty deteriorated. They still work, but the cones got holes in them and stuff, but they still actually function. So I'll probably restore them and sell them, because they're a vintage piece. I have two Celestion 12-inch vintage 30s, like goes in the Marshall cabinets, that I'm going to put in there, because that cabinet, that amp actually, is what Brian Setzer from the Stray Cats uses, and he has a really great tone. And his amp has Celestion vintage 30s in it, and so I'm going to do that. So anyway, that's my Sunday, and like I said, rambling on and trying to be as least technical as I can. But welcome to 2024, the first video of the year in here with official, with us doing the guitar shop thing. And I'm going to, sometime along the way, when I can talk Alex into making my computer work like it's supposed to, which it isn't. So I got it all dialed in. There it is, sitting there. Everything's ready to rock, and it works. But if I get online, I have 5 million pop-ups from McAfee trying to sell me stuff. So I'm still in the process of trying to figure out how to get it to stop doing that. So I need a younger, more computer wizardry fellow to come over and fix that for me. So anyway, once I get that done, I'm going to try to get some of the online stuff that will allow people to donate or leave tips or stuff like that. And I'm going to try to make this grow if I can, try to monetize it a little bit. Every little bit helps. I do this stuff as kind of a little side hustle, but I do a lot of it for favors and things like that for people, and basically do the work for them, just covering my parts for the most part. And when I do stuff like that, I obviously don't get paid for my time out of it, so I'm going to try to make something out of that. But more on that later when we get to that point. But like I said, every little bit helps. If I could make this shop grow into the point where this is all I do, then that would be nice. But anyway, we'll see where that goes in 2024. I'm happy to be here. Got a little bit of a stiff back from sitting around and eating all kinds of Christmas candies and stuff, and not moving very much. But we'll get past that. And I hope everybody made it into the year okay, and I hope everything's going to go all right. We're going to have a good year out of this, and positive thoughts, everybody. A lot of negative going on in the world, but we're going to try to look past that and stay on the positive side of things and make things better, make things good. You know, we're still here, we're still breathing,
we're going to try to keep that going and lift the spirits up a little bit. So everybody have a great week, and welcome to the year. And we will be doing a lot more of these, and we'll try to make them a little more exciting and interesting, and a little bit of learning and a little bit of fun and a whole lot of kitty cats. So, and a little bit of music in there too while we're at it. So thank you very much. Happy 2024. Happy Sunday afternoon, evening, and we'll see you soon. Bye.